Your brain does not understand the truth. It only understands engagement. If you realize this, you can snap yourself out of the reality that you live in. Because our reality most of the times feel like a bad trip. Have you had a bad trip on psychedelics, or have you heard about this term bad trip? When bad trips happens is when your brain creates an engagement with some sort of reality in the head that is very terrifying and scary. I've sat next to so many people that they took magic mushrooms or mescaline or all sorts of psychedelic trips. One day I remember there were two dudes just sitting, one left, one right. I was in the center, good friend of mine. They took mushrooms. The left guy was having the worst time of his life, and the right guy was having the best time of his life. Both took the same substance, both created the same environment, but at the end, one was going through hell and the other one was going through heaven. It's exactly like the reality that we have in our consciousness, in our society, in our world. Some people are going through their worst times and some people are going through their best times. But at the end, the substance is the same. The substance here is just simply what drives your brain to create that reality for you. Your brain does not understand the truth. Your brain understand the suffering, understand the bliss. But when it comes to the modern world, the engagement with the suffering in your life is much more clear, is much more available to you because your survival is in danger. In this world, everyone's survival is in danger. You have the bills to pay, you have the rents you gotta pay, even the minimum of this world, you gotta work so hard, you gotta waste all your life for some sort of survival scheme. Otherwise, you will turn perhaps to an homeless person, to a beggar, which that's again does not create any engagement in your brain because it's not a threat. What's a threat right now to you is how to survive this madness, how to survive this modern world, how to survive this slavery, how to survive this loneliness, how to survive this fear of unknown, fear of missing out, and fear of all sorts of things in life because we don't have the community anymore. We are not very spiritual anymore. Back in the days, people were spiritual. People always had a certain possibility to be able to engage with the spirituality of life, to be engaged with the higher source, with the higher power of life. But at the moment, most people are going through that bad trip in life. And again, there is one way that you can bring the person who is going through the bad trip out of the bad trip is by creating another type of engagement that is not so personal, it's not so depressing in that moment. Therefore, you have to bring this circus into his attention that he can snap out of this bad trip. At the end, it's you that you gotta shift the engagement. At the end, it's you that needs to look at the worst time of your life as one of your best lessons for your spiritual growth. Because all the suffering that we observe and we engage in is to empower our spiritual understanding, our spiritual growth. Things gets worse when needs to become better. So for things to go toward good, toward the spirituality of the existence, toward the community, first needs to get even worse, more worse. Yeah, I just wanted to give you this short message today that realize this. Your brain does not understand the truth. Your brain only understands engagement because it has to lean towards survival. Otherwise, it cannot warn you about so many threats. Shift your engagement. At least if you cannot shift your engagement, do not engage with the thoughts, do not engage with the reality that creates this worst time of your life. Drop the engagement. I personally myself have to drop so many engagement in my daily life to be able to stay in the state of bliss. Otherwise, my brain will not leave me alone. Man, my brain is just like a chit chat of threats all the time. And then I have to not engage, ignore. And the more highly analytical brain you have, the worse it gets because it has to overcompensate for the madness of the world as well. The conditioning, the craziness. Therefore, your brain will just even create threats that it's so rare to happen. Like, oh, what if an explosion happened right now? What if this electricity turns to fire right now and burn the whole house down? Let me check the door if it's locked, and then 10 seconds after you come back and you check again, and 10 seconds after you come back and you check again, and you laugh to the absurdity of this process because you already know that you checked and you double check just to make sure that you already know that you checked. But if you don't engage with this process, if you observe it and realize that, okay, look, next time don't engage. That's it. Because you already are aware of it. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to share myself and my experience with you. Much love.